are going to be talking about fire safety!
Fire alarms are going off. DeLayNee! DeLayNee won't wake up!
Wait, did it get Luke? Luke!
Yeah. Get busy. Get busy. Everybody get busy. I need y'all to report to the dance floor right this minute.
Welcome back to Not Enough Nelsons. What is this?
Fire.
It's a fire. It doesn't look very scary. It's just a little tiny bit of fire. Why is this scary?
Because if it touches the carpet, it's gonna burn up the house.
What happens to this if it touches something?
It's gonna spread.
It's gonna burn a house down.
It could burn a house down. This little tiny flame could end up burning our entire house down. How scary is that?
Scary.
Pretty powerful, this little tiny thing, right? Should we ever play with this, Beckham?
No.
No, what about matches?
No.
No, we should never play with a lighter or matches. As you guessed, today we are going to be talking about fire safety! So much fun. All right, guys, we are going to talk about lots of things, but one thing I just wanted to ask really quick. If there was a fire in our house and it was nighttime, DeLayNee, what would you do?
Go out back door.
You would go out the back door.
can't do
You'd run
that.
out the back door. Where would you go?
I'll go downstairs of the daycare.
Okay, you'd go out the old daycare door. Where would you go?
So I would go whatever way there wasn't a fire. I would run as close.
The opposite way.
And then I would go to the front. Over
Okay,
there.
okay. So here's the problem.
I
Where
would
would you
jump
go?
out my window.
Okay.
Jump out the window.
What the heck?
Three-story house.
Ah! Guys, this is the exact problem. Some of the kids think they should go out the back door, some the front door, some the side door, some think they should jump out of a window. We're gonna figure this all out, but first we have some special guests coming. Let's go see if they're here. Guests. Awesome. So our first one is
Captain Brandon Vandermein.
Whoa, awesome. He brings some cool stuff he's going to show you guys. And we have
Captain Brett Raymond.
Awesome. All right. They're going to tell you all about how we can get out of the house in a fire, what's most important, and especially these little guys, they are going to really help them because there's something they're going to tell you that's really sad that happens a lot of times, and they're going to help all of our viewers and all of you not be afraid. All right, here we go.
So most people that die in a fire, it's not because they burn to death, it's because they have smoke inhalation. They didn't get down to the floor quickly enough to be able to get good oxygen. And so it's important to know and understand that if there is a fire, you gotta stay extremely low to the ground because you'll have the best chance of breathing good air.
Does that make sense?
Never knew that. I never knew that.
All right, so here's some of the equipment that we have. One of the things that is a little bit scary for some of the younger kids is, first of all, it's scary to be in a fire. So when it's dark and there's a bunch of smoke, sometimes when we put all of our gear on, we look really scary, but we're not, okay? So there's been times where kids have gotten scared of the firefighters in all their gear and they hide from them instead of coming out so we can help them and save them. So what I want to do is put on some of the fire equipment that we have. So I want to put the stuff on and I want you to tell me when I look scary. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this stuff gets super hot, especially in the summertime. It feels good in the wintertime, but when it's 115 degrees outside and we have a car accident and we have to go help somebody get out of a car and we have to cut them out, we have to have all of our gear on. So it gets really, really heavy, but it protects us really well. So do I look scary?
No.
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 Not really.
So then, I've got my jacket.
It does
Try
look
it on?
heavy. I'm
Try
like,
it on.
I don't even think I could walk in it, much less rescue anybody in it.
It's not heavy, it's just bulky. It feels like a winter thing.
It's like a major winter coat.
Big old winter coat.
heavy.
Do I look scary yet?
Nope.
No? I'm trying to get there. So I have to throw this on. Is it scary yet? No? Okay.
Oh, that looks so heavy. Like I literally don't even know that I could walk around, much less go rescue somebody and climb up stairs and ladders. And that's more.
Plus, you have to carry someone out.
Okay, do I look scary yet?
No. Not at all?
So this is the part that I think scares a lot of the kids. Especially, remember, in a fire, it's gonna be really dark. And when I have the air on, it kind of sounds like Darth Vader.
You don't think
he
does.
Yeah, this is scary.
He's scary now.
He's scary now.
That's how they breathe.
I can hear him breathing. It does sound like Darth Vader.
Does it look scary now?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. But if you're ever in a fire and you see somebody that looks like this, we're here to help you, okay?
So should you go hide if there's a fire? No, we should never
Should you
hide.
go with that guy if there's a fire?
Yep. Yes, go with him. He will get you out safe. Oh, that does look kind of scary. And imagine it's dark and there's big fire around.
Scary.
It's a little scary.
Go hug him.
Go hug him. Oh no. You'll do it, Beckham, huh? We should practice.
If there was
Just
a
go
fire,
over there.
would you get him?
Just go hold his hand. Go hold his hand. Run. He can help you. Yay. I don't want you. But he's not scary. He's helping you get out of a
He's
bad
actually
fire.
like a superhero.
Yeah, it's like a superhero.
Yeah.
It's a real life superhero because he really helps people be safe.
You see how kids get scared of that?
It's crazy.
Yeah, these are really expensive, but it's our life safety. And so there's different things that are involved in the air packs. So you'll see that there's lights that go on and it's still on. So watch what happens if I'm sitting there not moving.
What is it? What does that mean?
So we never want to hear that sound. We hear it a lot because if you're standing in a fire and you're working and you're not moving a ton, then this will start to go off and so you shake it. But if we hear that noise and it goes on for a while, it could mean that there's a firefighter that's down and we need to go find them. So there's safety in every bit of equipment that we have.
So, Beckham, what would you do if you saw smoke? Like maybe you were in your room asleep and you saw smoke coming under your door. What would you do?
I know. You'll go to the floor so then you can get more oxygen.
Oh, is there more oxygen on the floor?
Yeah, the lower that we get, the better air that we have because heat and smoke and fire rises, right? So we got to stay below and that's when you can get the most air.
That makes sense. What if you go to the door? Should you just grab the handle?
No.
What should you do?
You go to the handle, first you touch it with the back of your hand.
Oh.
If you touch it with the front of your hand, you won't be able to use it
Oh, because it might get burnt.
But at the back of it, it won't get as bad because
You could still crawl on your
Plus
hand.
the back of your hand's more sensitive. You've got a bunch of calluses and stuff on this part. This is more sensitive, so you're gonna be able to feel the heat a little bit easier than you will if you do that.
Oh. If it's a little bit warm, what should we do? Do you still open the door? Do you open it slowly, like with the rag, or what do you do?
So you test the door first, and if it feels like it's not hot, then you can open the door, do it slowly, and stay low to the ground, okay? And then you can peek out and see what's going on.
until if you get outside, you can stand up.
Oh, that's a good idea. Once
So
you're
that's
out.
a good question though. That brings up an interesting point. What happens if you're able to get out? There's a fire, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, the fire alarm's going off, you see smoke, and you're able to go outside. What do you do?
Call 911.
Okay, where do you go?
You go to your window.
So this is a very good reason that we're here today is to talk about what happens in a fire. One of the biggest things that we get when we go to a fire is we get on scene and we say, hey, who's inside the house? Who do we need to go rescue? And think about it, especially with your family, right? If we went and we said, hey, who do we need to go save? And you're like, I don't know. I don't know, because you might be over at their house and you might be over at their house and you might be hiding in the bush in the backyard. So the families need to have a central meeting point that you and your family discuss. It's because the last thing that we want to do is come and have somebody say, you know what, there's 3 or 4 people inside. We're gonna risk our lives to go get you. But we don't wanna do that if we know that everybody's accounted for. Then we can change the way that we handle the fire. But if there's somebody inside, we're gonna come get you.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's why it's super important to have a central meeting place for everybody so there's no confusion.
Yeah.
Right?
So do you guys remember where our meeting point is?
It's in our front yard.
In our front, where specifically?
Driveway.
Yeah, at the top of the little circly part, the very end of that little circly part, right? Okay, so that's where you go. So that's really important because if we don't know what DeLayNee's in the backyard, then what are we gonna do? We're all gonna be like, go in and find DeLayNee. And then someone could risk their life, go find DeLayNee, and she's actually safe, right? So everyone has to meet where? All right, that was very, very good. Okay.
Another thing that we need to talk about is if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and there's a fire, how do you know it? Smoke, okay. What do you hope to hear? You hope to hear a fire alarm going on from the smoke detectors. But guess what? Smoke detectors need power to be able to work properly. And oftentimes that's through batteries. And so it's important that we check the fire. When's the last time you guys checked your smoke detectors? Do you know if they work?
I think that there's one alarm going off in DeLayNee's room, right? There's a beep. So yeah, we definitely need to go through and see where that one is that we hear beeping. All right, so when the alarms go off, then what's the next step? Go to the door?
Let's pretend that the door is super hot. You
Yeah.
know it's fire, you can see the smoke coming from underneath. You can feel the back of the door and it's super hot. The handle's hot. What do?
Go open your window.
Get bed sheets, tie them together, put them on the window, and climb down.
What if your time technique isn't
It's
so
gonna
good?
be tough. It's gonna be tough to climb down, but you gotta do whatever you need to do to get out, right? But what's a way that you can let us know, hey, there's somebody in here?
Yeah.
Slide something under the door.
I would think open your window and start screaming and yelling as loud as you can. Help me!
Yep, grab a shirt, grab something, start waving it out the window, and that way we know somebody's in there, we can get to you.
Oh,
Because
that's
if
smart.
we show up and your parents aren't home and maybe you're home alone, we're gonna pull up and we're not gonna know what's going on. And so one of the firefighters will walk all the way around the house, and it's to see where the fire's at, what's going on. And so they'll walk all the way around the house and they're looking at windows and they're looking at everything in the house to see what will help us to be able to find you.
Okay, so where's like the most common place that people get burnt in your house?
One of the biggest issues we have with fires in a house is the ovens and the stoves specifically. So a lot of times, have you guys ever cooked with oil? Have you ever made French fries,
Yeah.
chicken wings, scones, anything like that? So what happens is it's the oil and the grease gets super hot, and especially if you have an open flame where your stove's at,
Yeah.
that can trickle down and it can light on fire. And so that's a good thing. If that were to happen, what would you do? If there was a grease fire,
Don't put water on it, maybe?
how come?
Because I feel like it's not gonna help. It's just gonna like make it blow up more.
That's exactly right. That's a big mistake that people make. The best thing you can do is smother it if you can with a lid. Call 911 and get out. You don't want, if you put water on there, guess what? You're just spreading all of the fire and the grease, and it's quickly going to get on the drapes and everything else.
no.
And by the time you know it, your whole house could be on fire. And so it's important that, if there's a grease fire, if you can smother it with a lid, that's the best thing to do.
That's so smart.
And if you can or can't, it doesn't matter, call 911 and get everybody out of the house.
Yeah.
Fire, it has food that it eats. What do you think the fire's food is?
Everything.
Oxygen is what fuels the fire.
Yes.
If you take away oxygen, there can't be any fire. And that's why if you smother it, it takes all the oxygen out of it,
That makes
and
sense.
you can't have fire.
We do have fire extinguishers under our sink.
If you're an adult and you can try to put it out, absolutely do that.
Yeah, I'll show you guys how to use it. That's a good idea. So I should show you guys that have ladders how to put them in your window, and I should show you guys how to use a fire extinguisher. Ledger, what number do you call if there's a fire? Do you remember what? Oh, you are so smart. 911. Only if it's a big emergency. Guess what, firefighters? One time, Bridger and Trey, when they were like 7 and 8, they called 911.
My mom's pageant thing.
Yeah, I was getting ready for Mrs. Utah and they called 911. And so I had firefighters show up at my front door and I had curlers in my hair and a little robe on and I'm like, what? And they're like, is there a fire? And my boys ran past me and went and hid in my closet because they were afraid because they had made a bad choice. Is that a good choice to ever call 911 for fun?
You just gave Beckham an idea.
Oh,
Let the adults call 911, but if there's no adult there and you think it's an emergency, if somebody's hurt, even if it's a smaller emergency, you can feel comfortable calling 911 and they're going to talk you through it and see what's going on to see who they need to send. But
okay, here's 5 questions. Someone stubbed their toe and the corner of it's bleeding. Should I call 911? No. No. Mom mom cut her finger when she was cooking vegetables. Should I call 911? No. You were lighting a candle, SaiDee, and a paper towel lit on fire, and the paper towel's on fire in your hand. Should someone call 911? No. Not yet, but what if she goes over to put it out and it lights a rag on fire, and the rag and everything's on fire by the stove? Is that big enough to call 911? I think maybe. What if mom is on the ground and I'm not talking, and you're like trying to shake me and I'm not waking up?
Yes.
For sure. So those are some good examples. Like sometimes things that might have blood, but it's not worth calling 911, right? It's not like your life has to be in
Getting
danger.
kidnapped or you feel like you're being followed, call that.
Yes, yeah, good job. What is it? Fire truck! Woo! All right, let's look both ways before we cross the street.
All right, so I'm gonna quiz you guys. How many gallons of water do you think I have on the engine?
2,000.
750. How long do you think that 750 gallons would last?
1 day.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah, that's why when we pull up, we look for fire hydrants.
Well, that's what fire hydrants are for, guys. Did you know that?
Is there toys?
No, we don't have any toys.
There's no toys in there. They only have stuff to help us in a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, here's something that's interesting. Do you think firefighters have to know how to do math?
Yes.
Why?
Because you need.
We need to figure out, so all of these, as soon as we start spraying water, we have to make adjustments to everything. And we have to know how long the hose is, how much hose we have on, and we have to calculate so the guy at the other end of the hose isn't going like this all over the place, or he doesn't have enough water. So we have to do a lot of math. So this is our control panel, and it's where we control all of the hoses, and then we have like a deluge gun up top. It's like a big squirt gun. It's like a huge super soaker. So this is rope. Some of our other rigs have rappelling equipment. We actually go on a lot of calls that need rappelling and pulling people up. This? That's a cone. If we go to an accident, we put up the cone so people don't hit us. So this is a fan. If there's a fire, we will put positive pressure and try to blow all the smoke out. So that's what that's for.
Why do you have kitty litter?
Oh, I think I know. I saw this thing on TikTok where they like clean up like from a car crash or something. Like they clean up
Exactly
and
right.
to soak it up.
Yeah, so you can see, we'll put that down if there's oil or liquids or something like that, and then we'll use this as a big dustpan and scoop it up.
Oh, because it sucks it all up. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it absorbs it. So here is where we have all the So this is a car called a K12. Oftentimes, if there's a car fire, most of the time it's in the engine, and we have to be able to get inside of it. And so we have to use that to cut the hood that will allow us to be able to put the fire out. Sometimes when people get in a car accident, cars get crunched, right? We have to get them out somehow. And so sometimes we have to cut the roof off. Sometimes we have to cut the car in half and bend it. Whatever we need to do to get somebody out. So these are cutters. They're like big scissors that'll cut through metal. This is called a combination tool where it spreads stuff. So I could stick this underneath the car, lift it up, no problem. And who's the toughest?
I am.
Okay, come here.
Is it heavy?
Very. Come here, I'll help you.
I'm like.
She's pretty strong.
I'll help you.
DeLayNee's pretty strong too.
Is it heavy? Oh, it's too heavy.
You want to try it?
It's not that heavy. Ooh, that's slow.
Oh wait, it's not that heavy.
So,
she's trying
but the
to do
thing
that.
is, you don't just hold it, right? So when we're spreading and cutting, sometimes I have to have them all the way up here.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I have to hold it here.
you try.
Sometimes I have to be for 5 minutes holding it right here so I can get somebody out.
Oh.
So they're super, super heavy. All right, you guys, who wants to be in the driver's seat? You're welcome to go ahead and sit in there. Just don't push any buttons, okay?
Okay, Okay guys, so it is 10:21 on a school night. The kids have been asleep for maybe about a half hour. I know it's crazy to be doing this on a school night, but it is important. So I'm going to do it. I'm gonna jump up there and do that. Benji's literally asleep. He's super tired. And so I didn't actually wake him up. So this will be funny because it's gonna startle him. The kids are never, ever gonna believe that I would do this tonight because our house is literally a bomb. Like we've been so busy today and I just had everybody go to bed. I didn't even clean up their messes. Here we go. Hurry! This is a drill. Run! The first thing me and Benji do is we go in and get Ledger.
Guys, I was just halfway asleep and the fire alarm started going off. Alright, gotta make sure my door's not hot. Touching it with the back of mine. Like it's not hot.
Guys, I just heard the fire alarm. I think I have to touch the door first. Oh, it's hot, guys.
Okay, guys, the fire alarm just barely went off, so I'm gonna get down on my knees. See? Feels like hot.
Okay, it's not hot.
Oh my gosh, guys, I just woke up and the fire alarm is going off. I'm gonna get on the floor and start crawling. Or the back of my hand right here. So that, okay, it's not hot at all. DeLayNee! PaisLee, DeLayNee isn't awake yet. DeLayNee won't wake up. DeLayNee!
Oh my gosh, you guys. Crap. Fire alarm just went off. Okay, first, check the door. Okay, so it's not hot.
I just woke up and I just heard the fire alarm go off. It's not hot. Joy, come on, the fire alarm just went off.
Ledger, are you okay?
Okay.
It was the fire drill.
All right, guys, I put an X anywhere that there's supposed to be a fire. And so there's an X right here. Okay, let's go this way.
Oh no, the stair is off fire.
Okay, apparently the stairs are on fire, so we have to check the upper handle.
Okay,
We got the key.
hurry.
Wait, did we get Luke? Luke!
I'm right here.
I'm starting to crawl. I'm trying to hurry as fast as I can. And this is actually very fun. I'm in my PJs right now. Oh no! Fire! Run!
You guys gotta be crawling on my booty, cause there's smoke. I would have to be crawling.
Wait. Are we supposed to meet in the back or the front?
Hurry! There's no fire down here. Hurry! Ow! I stepped in water. I'm running. Top of the circle. Right here. It's right here. Okay, guys. We made it outside safely.
Where do we go? Where do we meet at? We're supposed to go outside right here, right?
We made it outside safely. And as you can tell, we're in the safety zone. We made it.
Guys, wouldn't it be so scary if the house was on fire? Come on, guys. Every second we'd be waiting, we'd be like, no.
Oh, I see somebody.
I see somebody.
Oh, they're all waiting there.
Oh, it's cold.
There's NayVee.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, that took you guys almost 2 minutes. That's actually pretty good, but we probably would be a lot more scared and like if there was really smoke and the sounds of fire are really loud, right? What would we do right this very minute once we were out here? Call 911? What number should we call in case of a fire?
911.
Oh, good job. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching our fire emergency drill. Love you all. Be safe.